Okay, so this is the help video for the text structure practice that we are doing on this remote Wednesday, which is December the 9th. And we are doing a little bit more with text structure again because we have a little common assessment coming up next week that's going to check our status. Do we know text structure? And that really does relate well with the standard we're doing this week and next week in class, which is RI 5.3. And that's where we're explaining relationships between concepts and ideas and people. And a lot of the times those relationships are a cause and effect relationship or a similarity. So they have something in common, or that would be compare and contrast, or it could be that it's a solution to a problem and that's their relationship. So that relates to the problem and solution text structure. So it's a great time to review it and to see where we are on it, if we're still remembering it, or if we're forgetting it and need a little bit of a refresher. All right, so this is specifically cause and effect as our text structure. So we already know that this is cause and effect. So I'm just going to write my C and E up there, even though it's already written for me, just to keep that habit going. It's called the colors of the leaves. So I will read aloud the front side, and then we will go through each of these on the back. Again, we're looking at cause and effect relationships here, something causing something else to happen. Down here, we'll be putting in signal words that we find, at least 3 signal words. You should still have this sheet in your remote folder, but in case you don't, I'm going to go over these real quick with you. Remember that cause and effect is when the author is describing causes and or effects of an event. This is the graphic organizer, and you can have some variety in this, but this is a general idea that you have something that's causing these things to happen. All right, signal words. This is not all of them, but this is going to give you a good idea of what you should feel like, what the word should be conveying to you when it's cause and effect. So we have cause, effect, because, result, which could be resulting or as a result or resulted, consequence, outcome, due to, affected, consequently, since, so, therefore, thus, led to, could also be leads to, or for this reason. Again, that's not an exhaustive list. There are plenty more out there, but this should give you a good idea of what those words sound like and how they make you feel. And those type of words are signal words for cause and effect. All right. So let's go ahead and read this out loud. So this is called the colors of the leaves. And then we have a picture here, which is trying to show us how something works. And remember, we were talking in class this week about what we would call that, and we would call that a diagram. Diagrams are pictures that show us how things work. So this is showing us how photosynthesis happens, all the stuff that's involved with making it happen. All right, first paragraph. Think of green leaves as solar-powered food factories. The green chlorophyll absorbs energy from the sun. Powered by this solar energy, leaves change carbon dioxide and water into food and oxygen. This process is called photosynthesis. During the spring and summer months, trees produce lots of chlorophyll to absorb the large amount of sunlight. Spring and summer leaves are green because they are full of green chlorophyll. Other colors, called carotenoids, are also present in leaves. These colors range in shades of yellow and orange. Those colors don't show through in spring and summer because they are masked by all the green chlorophyll. That mask slips away as fall begins. As summer ends and autumn starts, the days grow shorter. As a result of shorter days, there is less sunlight to be absorbed. As the amount of sunlight decreases, trees make less and less chlorophyll. until they stop chlorophyll production altogether. Without chlorophyll, the other colors become visible, resulting in yellow and orange leaves. Some trees produce a pigment called anthocyanin in fall. Scientists aren't sure why some trees make anthocyanin and other trees don't. Anthocyanin gives leaves a reddish appearance. Brown leaves are not caused by pigments. Leaves turn brown when they die and no longer contain pigment. Weather conditions can affect how brightly colored fall leaves are. If there is a drought, which means not enough rain, during spring and summer, then trees drop their leaves early. Leaves that fall too soon have a muted color because they didn't have time to develop full color. Warm fall nights can also result in less brightly colored leaves. An early autumn frost or freezing temperature can kill leaves while they're still on the tree. As a result, the dead leaves skip the color change process and turn brown. The weather conditions that lead to the most brilliantly colored fall leaves are a warm, wet spring, a moderate summer that is neither too hot, too cold, nor too dry, and warm, sunny autumn days with cool but not freezing nights. All right. So let's start up here. So we have two causes and an effect. So we need to figure out the effect here, and what causes this to happen here. So the first one says trees are full of chlorophyll. Now I know that that was in the first paragraph. It says trees produce lots of chlorophyll, which means they're full of a lot of chlorophyll. And then it tells us why. To absorb the large amounts of sunlight. So, what would be the effect of trees having a lot of chlorophyll? What would they be able to do? All right, next one. The days grow shorter. Okay, so the days grow shorter is right here at the beginning of paragraph 3. We're looking for the effect. So what happens because the days have gotten shorter? So it says, as summer ends and autumn starts, the days grow shorter. As a result of shorter days, there is less sunlight to be absorbed. So that pretty much told us right there what happens because there are shorter days. All right, next one. In this one, we have to figure out what makes this happen. So it's trees drop their leaves early. So I'm just going to scan really quick, looking for the trees dropping their leaves early. All right, that's in the last paragraph. It says weather conditions can affect how brightly colored fall leaves are. If there is a drought during spring and summer, then trees drop their leaves early. So there it told us what causes the trees to drop their leaves early. And that's going to go in this box here. All right, so we need some signal words, and just in my first read, which I was pretty much scanning through it, I came up with 10 signal words. I don't want you to write all 10 of them down, just come up with 3 to put in this box that show that there's a cause of something happening, or they show that something is the effect of something else. And again, use this sheet to help you. All right, last one. So again, remember at the beginning of the year when we were learning text structures and we were filling out those diagrams, and we would start at a certain point, which wasn't the first column. We saved that one for last, which was author's purpose, the reason why the author wrote the text, because we had to pull things together to state what the author's purpose was. We needed to know the text structure. We needed to know the signal words. We needed to know all of that before we could say what his purpose is, or her purpose is. So all of them start like this. The author wanted to, and remember we had to think about whether it was inform, persuade, or entertain, and we talked about how it was inform when the author's trying to educate us, to teach us something. And this is clearly a passage that's trying to teach us about something. It's trying to teach us about leaves and their colors and their changes and all of that. It's not meant to entertain us. It's not filled with characters and adventures and all that exciting stuff. And it's not meant to persuade us. It's not trying to get us to do something. So the author wanted to inform us of. And now this is where you're going to have to finish this thought on your own. And so remember, my advice to you is always to go back, look at the title, because that's a big clue on what he's trying to get across to you. And look at the text structure. And when you put those two together, when you pull the title and you pull the text structure together, that's going to lead you right into being able to answer this question. He wants to inform us of what? All right, if you have any questions or need any help with this after watching the video, you can send me an email. You can message me in Google Classroom. Your parents can message me on Bloom's, and I will get back with you as soon as I am able to. Remember that this is due Thursday morning when you return from the remote work day this Wednesday. All right.